Hi guys, my name is Zach Davis. I'm a county extension agent in Denton County for agriculture and natural resources. Today we're live in the field. I'm going to be talking about internal parasite control related to sheep and goats. So we're getting here in the early or late spring, early summer, 1st of May. This is really a good time to be keeping an eye on your sheep and goats as it relates to internal parasites. You can really get some buildup around this time. We have a lot of warmer weather with a lot of wet rain spells. We get a lot of moisture in the soil that can really be a growthy environment for internal parasites. So today we're going to be talking about that. We're going to look at a couple of females and kind of go over some physical indicators that you can look for in your flock. And also we're going to talk about a couple different deworming strategies. There's not a whole lot of new recently introduced wormers out on the market, at least here in the US, but we're going to talk about how we can use what we have and kind of combine those wormers to maintain our healthy herds. So thanks for tuning in today. We're glad you're here. The best way to kind of analyze your animals and see where you are as far as internal parasite control. One protocol that you can use is called FOMACHA scoring, where you have a score from 1 to 5, 1 being the best, 5 being the worst. And basically what that relates to is the paleness and color of gums or eyelids in those small ruminant animals. So 1 would be a very good dark red healthy eyelid, where a 5, as you get more anemic, you have a more pale colored eyelid. We'll try to show y'all these in the video, but that's kind of a basis that most people use. Before we analyze the eyelids on these goats, there's a couple of things I wanted to point out, just some visual indicators that you can do when you're looking at animals. We've got 2 females here. You can kind of see the kind of dead, dry, hairy look on this goat to be to my right. She kind of has this kind of a dull haired look. That's a typical sign when you're talking about parasite infestation. Another thing you kind of look at looks like we're getting a little bit of fluid buildup right there around the jaw. That's typically what we call a bottle jaw. That's not good. That's a big indicator that we need to treat. This is actually a female that we just treated recently. On the other side here we have a slick looking doe. She has a sheen to her. She has a natural healthy look to her. That's kind of what we're looking for. This would typically be one that we wouldn't have to worry about managing for internal parasites right now. If we had them up treating, she looks healthy. She's got a good hair coat. She doesn't have any swelling issues, any kind of bottle jaw right there in her jaw. So those are just kind of some telltale signs. Okay, when we're analyzing this goat to utilize the FOMACHA score, what you want to do is put slight pressure on the eyeball, not to hurt the animal, but just to put a little bit of pressure, and then kind of pull that eyelid back. You can kind of see this one's kind of got a pink color to it. It's not totally white, but definitely has a pinker color to it. It should probably be in the 3 range. You could also look at her the inside of her gums. I was having to look at these. These could have a little bit more red color. They seem to be a little bit pale. All right, on this healthier appearing female, we're going to do the same thing. Put a little bit of pressure on the eyeball and kind of peel that eyelid back. You can see a lot more redder look. One thing when you talk about sheep and goat management, you'll always have some sheep and goats that we call chronic wormers, and those are ones that no matter what type of treatment you do, you can consistently treat them for internal parasites. They're always going to have problems, and so those are ones you want to keep an eye out for in your flock. Just later on when you're thinking about culling, just know if there's one out there that you constantly have to worm, it might be time to go and let her go and cull that one off. Now that we've identified how to look for internal parasites, we're going to talk a little bit about dewormers and deworming strategies. There's about 3 different categories of wormers. The first wormers, typically what you think of as your white wormers. So that would be like a Safeguard, Valbazen, or Panicure. Those are wormers, when you look at them, they just have a white color to them, kind of like a milk looking color. Safeguard is generally one of the safest wormers that we can use on sheep and goats. Some strategies for worming, utilizing Safeguard, you can do a 12-hour fast on your animals, and basically what that will do, they'll kind of clear their system out, and then we'll initiate the dewormer, and then they'll have a better chance of the treatment being successful utilizing a 12-hour fast. So you don't want to do that with all dewormers, but Safeguard, which is that white wormer, is definitely one you can do. You would not want to do that on Valbazen. Valbazen is a little bit more potent, you would say. You also have to be careful on pregnant females using Valbazen. You don't want to use Valbazen in early pregnancy, because they can be known to abort those pregnancies. So keep an eye out for that when you're thinking about goats, how they're bred, how far along they might be in their pregnancy. Safeguard is definitely a safer option. The next category we're going to talk about is what I call a clear wormer. It would be like this Sidectin right here, Sidectin or Ivomec. Ivomec's another one that's kind of not as toxic or potent. Sidectin would be a little bit more potent. Those are going to be our second category of wormers. When we talk about strategies for internal parasite control, you can utilize one dewormer from one category and another dewormer from another category, and mix those or initiate those simultaneously to get a combination drench. Combination drenches are utilized in other countries. Currently, we're not allowed to mix a combination drench ourselves, so we couldn't mix this white wormer and this clear wormer in one jug and give it. But what you can do is give a white wormer and then turn around and give a clear wormer. So you're still getting a combination drench. You're just not combining those dewormers yourself. Another category we're going to talk about is using a product called Prohibit. Prohibit is a product you just mix in water. It's really good at getting roundworms, but it's also effective in getting that barbed poleworm that we're looking for around springtime, early May. A couple of things we want to keep in mind when we're talking about parasite management. The life cycle of internal parasites lasts up to 21 days inside the body. So when you're thinking about that, you want to think about worming like on a once a month basis, especially when you have environmental factors that can have an infestation of internal parasites. So just around springtime where you have warm, wet weather, just know you could possibly be worming your animals during these peak periods once a month. That's one thing you need to keep in mind. Another strategy we're not going to talk about a whole lot today is grazing management and rotational grazing. So basically what you would do is you would have an open pasture where if you'd been battling parasites and you'd been through a couple of deworming cycles, you could rotate off that pasture for a 3-month period, because parasites can live up to 3 months. And then you could rotate onto new pasture for 3 months, and then kind of rotate back and forth to a clean pasture again. So that's just another strategy you might want to check out. Maybe do some research on your own that can help you in controlling internal parasites.